My name is Asa Jackson. I'm an artist, I'm a curator. I'm here collaborating with MoCA Arlington and the County of Arlington on a community textile project. The project came about in early 2022 or late 2021 in conversation with MoCA Arlington, which was at that time known as Arlington Art Center. And so I mentioned that I had interest in doing textile projects where people bring in their own textiles and we somehow weave stories together. And I had done a similar project some years earlier, so I had an idea of how it could work. So we talked about it for some months, thinking of a way that we can do something that is like super immersive and engaging with the community, but also do something that like acts as like a time capsule. So when you think about like a quilt or a tapestry or an assemblage of sorts, right? Taking small things and weaving them together with other things to make a big thing, especially when it comes to textiles, right? Textiles are things that have stories, right? People live with their clothes. People have experiences in those clothes. Their smells, their fabric softeners, their detergents, their dirtiness, everything is there in the clothes, their essence, essentially, right? And so those stories are there, but also the people that made the clothes, right? Where they come from, the factory, the company, the brand, who grew the textiles, who grew the cotton, who grew the, who established the chemical for the dye, or who found the octopus. Like all of that is weaved into the story of the textile, in addition to who wore it, or if it was a hand-me-down, or if it was a thrifted item, right? So all of that texture is there in terms of human experience. But then when you start to take a little bit of that textile and a little bit of this textile and a little bit of this textile, things become repurposed and they start to take on new meaning, right? And then that texture becomes layered with more and more and more texture. And then it becomes a thing of itself, right? So thinking about a way that we could do something that would honor the people of this specific community, but also honor the time spent in Arlington, considering that not everybody's born, raised, and dies in one place, that there are transitory natures of people's existence. So doing something that can document this moment in Arlington, right? These people's specific lives, but then also be a time capsule, in essence, for future generations. And so as a part of this, textile piece, this collaborative textile piece that we're gonna be working on, we'll be taking either clothes or fabrics or curtains or whatever people wanna offer up. We'll be taking pieces and putting it into this format, but we'll be also taking their stories, so that you get, on one hand, this beautiful collaboration of people's textures and colors and fabrics, right? But at the other time, you get to read about and maybe hear about and see firsthand stories from these people who contributed to the project. I'm gonna be here in and out with you guys over the next couple weeks, and we're gonna make a big collaborative artwork. Anybody here know what it means to collaborate? What is it?
Like lots of people make like one art all together.
Absolutely. So yeah, we're gonna collaborate. That means we're all gonna pitch in, right? Anytime you get a chance to meet people, deal with people, give of yourself, have them give of themselves in an exchange, you get meaning out of that. You don't know exactly what meaning you're gonna get out of it, but to brush up against people's experiences and lives, and have them do that to your experience, there's something that comes out of it. And I think, having these textures that people have lived with and rubbed up against hold some type of energy. So to be able to tap into the energy of a community for a time, take little bits and parts of that energy and, together create something that can symbolize the community, I think is a special thing. Today was great. I love doing these projects, these collaborative projects, because you never know exactly how it's going to be until you come and get immersed in the community. And today we saw such an awesome community of kids, all types of cultures, ethnicities, walks of life living under this one roof, which is amazing and it's going to be a fun process, as you can hear.
My name is Raekwon Johnson. So I work for the Arlington Partnership for Affordable Housing as a resident services coordinator. As a social worker whose work experience is mainly with children, it's very touching for me to see that the work that I have done and the work, the partners that we're bringing into Columbia Hills are able to put more of a beneficial and positive social impact on our residents, because as a social worker, social change is all of what we do. I hope what both the children and the parents take from this opportunity is to not only embrace their creative selves, but to also know that they can do anything that they dream.
What I do with my normal craft, right, is take textiles, all sorts of textiles that I've either lived with, that other people live with, that I've thrifted or that were given to me, or sometimes purchased, but like only special types, right? And all of these things have stories like we talked about. But I don't ever usually get to look into those stories. See what I'm saying? Like the ones that I lived with, I know those stories, you know? But the ones that I haven't lived with, I don't know those stories. The things that people have given me, I know a fraction of those stories. But then some things that say I've thrifted, like if I was looking for a specific fabric, like corduroy, for instance, right? I might go look for corduroy, but I won't go buy it from the store, I'll go thrift it. So it does have story and texture and experience, right? But I don't know it. So I think for this project, it's special, super special, because I finally get to like look behind the veil a little bit.
Tell us something about this sheet. Make sure they hear you. This is Haya, everybody.
We bought this from a nearby store.
Okay, got it from a nearby store.
We used to use it, but we don't use it anymore.
Okay, what did you use it on? What type of?
For our bed, I think so, yeah.
Okay, nice. Was it comfy? Okay, awesome. So this thing has you guys have spent some nights in here. This has some dreams in it, huh?
What?
You guys have had some dreams in these sheets, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys remember any dreams you had in these sheets? Maybe?
I don't know if I've had a dream about it.
All right, you remember any special nights or movies or stories or anything that you might have had?
We used one time, I used this as a blanket one time. And yeah, I think I used it for a movie.
Okay. All right, great. So, you guys know a little bit about this sheet, right? Right? You guys heard it came from a nearby store.
Give whatever
It
they
used to
had,
be
whether it
used
was
as the
bed
bed
sheets
sheet.
or a t-shirt. Man, people gave us some interesting stuff. People gave, this one lady, a grandmother in the community gave these crochet scarves that she made from scratch. You know, I thought that was precious. That's this stuff right here, you know? Then, you know, got pillows from people. Pillows that they like use every day, you could tell. You know what I mean? This one little girl gave me a shirt that she used to wear at her ballerina recitals. You know? I'm like, yo, that's amazing. You know what I mean? Like I'm sure she has so many beautiful memories doing ballet. And she gave me the shirt that symbolized it. So, you know, these type of vibes that people have lived with, you know, they've had happy thoughts, sad thoughts in the textiles, you know. I love being able to touch it, re-manipulate it, you know what I mean? Because that shirt, who knows? She might save it. It might get donated to Goodwill one day or a thrift store. It might get lost, whatever. That is the nature of clothing, right? But the nature of art, hopefully, is that we take care of it and that it gets, you know, hung up somewhere or safely stored for future generations, right? And so I like the notion of the challenge even of having to take something and turn it into something else that people will appreciate in a different way and maybe even take care of in a different way, you know?
Hello, I'm Sarah Loden. Today I'm here with the Museum of Contemporary Art Arlington, who is a partner with the Arlington Public Housing Development as well as the Arlington Public Arts Division to create a community quilt. What's so important about art is that it really gets into an essence of how we express ourselves as people, as humans. And what better way to really build connection than to show our humanity, to share our humanity. And so I feel like this kind of project gives people the opportunity. What I also think is important is that the people who live here get to see themselves reflected in something that's here every day. We give art so much importance. And so now that it's hanging on the wall, like we know that this is valuable, this is important. And now that I know that this is something that I contributed to, I can see myself as important.
And there it is.
Community is so deep, such a multifaceted, multi-layered thing. To engage this type of community that has such a varying range of life experience, right? To do something that celebrates that different experience and then elevates the experience into a museum, right? Where these people can now come into this museum and see a piece of them as a time capsule for their whole county that is hanging in the Mocha Museum, right? It's like, I feel like that's an impact to really give credit and give a nod to their everyday experience, you know?